Hey everybody, this is Giancarlo Aulino reporting for the FiredUp Network, and I'm happy to be joined by my guest today, who's going to be talking about his upcoming fight at Bellator 290. He's been a guest on here before. We're happy to catch up with him again. He is Chris Gonzalez. How you doing, Chris?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Doing great. And Chris, you're getting back here in the Bellator cage. It's going to be a big event there on CBS, making their network debut. How did you find out about this fight? And I guess what was your reaction when you found out you're going to be on this debut card on CBS?
Yeah, I'm really proactive when it comes to getting fights and things of that nature. So it wasn't like I found out out of right field. I'm usually the one hitting up Bellator, kind of just asking when I'm going to fight, just getting that itch. It doesn't usually take too long, especially coming from that wrestling background where you're used to competing on a regular basis. You know what I mean? Training is cool and all, but, as athletes, we live to compete. So I found out as soon as I was hitting them up before that I was even probably on their mind. And they sent me a couple names. They didn't work out for a couple of different reasons. And they came back with my current opponent. And I accepted the fight right away, and here we are.
Yeah, and this is a fight. Your last one was in July of last year. You fought twice last year, January and July. So is this another year that you're expecting maybe two fights, or is it three? Like, how active would you like to be this year?
Yeah, no, I definitely want to be more active. Fighting twice a year hasn't been for any fault of my own. That's just what I've been getting offered up to this point. But my last contract negotiation, I negotiated where they have to offer me at least 3 fights a year. So hopefully I'll be able to at least get the 3 in. And, if I'm healthy and everything's going well, I don't see why I can't get, up to 4 and maybe even 5. Who knows?
Yeah, and just your last fight there too. It's not like you came out with the defeat, but it was against now the Bellator Lightweight champion, Usman Nurmagomedov. Just what did you learn about him in that fight, and what are you hoping to correct going into your next fight?
Yeah, I can't really say that I took away too much. The first couple of minutes, it was just a feeling out process. I don't know if either one of us landed more than 1 or 2 strikes. I exploded in. We got into a over-under position. He tripped me. I came up kind of lackadaisically and he jumped on my neck. I didn't respect it. I went to pull out, not realizing that the cage was right behind me. And when I pulled out, the cage was right there, and he sunk up a really, really deep darce with no arm in there, and we were super dry. So I didn't. There was no exit for me. I tried to spin in, and he just had it locked up. So I guess what I learned is just making sure that I have more cage time going into the fight. I didn't do too much sparring in the cage. It was more on an open mat. So moving forward in my career, not only this fight, definitely implementing more cage work just so I can have that cage awareness while I'm in the cage,
Yeah, and you're going to be fighting Max there February 4th at Bellator 290 in this arena. It's a famous arena, a stacked card here. So what are you looking at in your opponent here and Max?
Yeah, I've done my fair share of research. There's not a ton of film out there on him. He's still relatively new into his career. He hasn't fought a ton of high-level competition or anything like that for me to get a great idea of where he's, where his strengths and weaknesses are. Obviously, he's a collegiate-level wrestler. I want to say he was an NCAA qualifier, so he's a high-level wrestler. He trains over with Danaher and those guys, so I know his jiu-jitsu is probably pretty good. Outside of that, though, obviously I'm super confident with my wrestling as well. I have just as higher level pedigree wrestling right there, so I feel I don't need to worry about that too much. But yeah, I just want to showcase, all my skills. I'm a mixed martial artist. I'm working tirelessly every day, mornings, afternoons, and nights to close those gaps and just become the most well-rounded version of myself that I can be. And, February 4th, I'm going to put that on display for you guys.
And yeah, this fight there is, like I mentioned, the Kia Forum, and What does it mean to you to be fighting in California? Does this just add extra motivation there? I know Team Alpha Male is in Sacramento, so is this extra motivation for you fighting in California?
No, I mean, if the location of where you're fighting is going to be your motivating factors, you're probably in the wrong line of work. So no extra motivation. I'm plenty motivated. It just means that I'll be able to have a few more friends and family out there, or a few more friends. I'm not from California, so I'm actually from Chicago. But just having been here for the last 5 years, I've got a really good support system out here, and I got a ton of friends who'll definitely come make the trip out and, be in my corner cheering for me. So it'll be awesome to have some friends out there supporting.
And who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
So right now, my two corners that I have for sure is going to be Uriah Faber over at Team Alpha Male. I don't really think he needs an introduction. And then Coach Fabio, who's one of our Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coaches over here at the gym as well. So I'll have those two with me. I might be adding a third. I'm not sure yet, but I'll have those two with me for sure.
And Bellator also made that announcement, the Lightweight Grand Prix going to be taking place. And just what were your thoughts at some of the names in there? And from the outside looking in, who do you see winning that tournament? And now that if you're hoping to be active, those could be some appealing matchups in the future if you rack up the wins there.
Yeah, 100%, man. I definitely think that I could have easily been inserted into that tournament too, but I can't really be too mad with the people that they chose. At least they chose people who I feel like truly deserve to be in the tournament. I don't have any issues with the people that they chose outside of the fact that they didn't choose me. With that being said, I know I'm right there. I hit up. I got in contact with the people I needed to get in contact with on the Bellator side and let them know that I'll stay ready. I'll be ready to be a fill-in. Injuries happen. I think they've happened throughout each Grand Prix so far, so I made sure to hit them up. As soon as I saw that, they had already come out with that roster for the Grand Prix. And hopefully my name's at the top of the list. I can go handle business in a couple of weeks and then, see how the cards fall, and maybe I'll get an opportunity to slide in there and make some noise. But as far as who I think is going to win the tournament, if I had to pick my horse in the race, I'd probably lean towards either Usman or Tawfiq Musayev. I think that's how you say his last name. Yeah. Both of those guys are super high level, super well rounded. They've got plenty of experience, so I feel like they probably got the best chance right now.
Should be exciting there. And what final questions here? Just before we let you go here, be remiss if I don't ask you this. Prior to your last fight, you got an interesting cameo message from Ric Flair, who called you a limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing son of a gun. What was your reaction when you saw that video pop up and a cameo from Ric Flair?
Yeah, that was pretty badass, man. Super unexpected. Shout out to my boy Jim Clark over at Tower Legal. Always supporting and trying to give me any extra motivation that he can. I appreciate you, brother. It was awesome just to have that message from a legend like Rick. It just, I think they sent it to me at like 7 a.m. I was walking my dogs and, I got it, and it just added a little bit of fuel to the day. It got me motivated, kind of got the blood flowing. It was tight. Ironically, I actually ran into Rick about a month ago at the airport. I had a little layover in Vegas, and I don't know if he was boarding his flight or had a layover too, but I was just grabbing some food, and he sat right next to me at this restaurant, and I actually got to play the cameo for him, and he got a good kick out of that. Obviously, he does tons of them, and anybody can get them done, but it was cool. I grew up watching him do his thing, so it's a once in a lifetime type of thing that happened. So it was pretty cool.
That's awesome. And before we let you go here, how can our viewers and listeners here at the Fired Up Network follow you on social media and stay up to date with everything you're doing?
Yeah, so if you're interested in seeing how I'm living, how I'm training, and how I'm eating and things like that, you can follow me on Instagram at CGZ Dream, DREAM. That'd probably be the best way to keep up with me. I'm not on Twitter or anything like that. So give me a follow on Instagram and stay tuned. and I hope you guys are ready for a show February 4th.
Highly recommend that follow. And Chris, I appreciate you sharing your time here, coming on FiredUp Network to talk about your upcoming fight there at Bellator 290. And I wish you all the best, man.
Appreciate you, brother.